Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to Monks in the Morning from Colombo Dhamma Friends of Mahameonawa. The monks here are so happy to get to spend time with you now. Today, we're going to learn about a man whose mind was filled with hatred and thoughts of getting revenge. Someone said something to him that he didn't like, and all he could think about was how to get even with that person. Has someone ever said something to you to criticize you or blame you? I'm sure they have. It happens to everyone. People even blame the Supreme Buddha. But the way that we react completely depends on how pure our minds are. We've learned before how when people would criticize and scold the Supreme Buddha, he never got angry or had any thoughts of taking revenge or getting even with that person. This is the big difference between us and the Supreme Buddha. Well, today we'll learn about someone whose mind was really messed up. So messed up that he terrorized an innocent man over just a small comment that man made. We'll also chant a new sutta, so have your chanting book ready if you have one. Otherwise, click on the show notes link to download a copy of this sutta. Let's begin the day by going for refuge and taking the 5 precepts.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Say together with me. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Sanghaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Dutiyampi sanghaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Tatiyampi sanghaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now to observe the 5 precepts, say after me. Say loudly. I observe the precept of abstaining from killing beings. I observe the precept of abstaining from stealing. I observe the precept of abstaining from sexual misconduct. I observe the precept of abstaining from telling lies. I observe the precept of abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs. I follow these precepts for happiness in this life, for rebirth in heaven, and to realize the Four Noble Truths. In this Gautama Buddha's dispensation, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Meritorious children, in this world there are unwise people. In Buddha's teachings, Buddha preaches about Bala and Pandita. Bala is unwise, Pandita is wise. So, if an unwise person is scolded, he gets angry very fast. If an unwise person is advised, he gets angry very fast. And then, if an unwise person is accused, he will take revenge, no patience, and they will become envious. Then what happens? When unwise people get angry, they take revenge from others. Revenge means if they are scolded, they will hit in return. If they are hit, they will kill in return. So these are the dangers when you take revenge, and when you become, these are the dangers that you have to face when you become unwise. For an unwise person, there is no limitation of doing evil deeds. So, but he will, for an unwise person, he will have limits in doing wholesome deeds, but not doing unwholesome deeds. For unwholesome deeds, no limit, but for wholesome deeds, he will have limits. So today we are going to learn about a person who was unwise. So one day, when Venerable Moggallana was coming from the Vulture's Peak, Venerable Moggallana was coming down with a monk called Lakkana Arahant. So then Venerable Moggallana saw a huge python, a huge, large, long python who was burning from head to tail, from tail to head, suffering, being caught by fire. Then just the fire goes from the tail to the head and from head to the tail. So what is this? Who is this being? A Peta python, huge body. Then what happens? Then Venerable Moggallana, he saw this. Then he smiled a little bit and understood that the Buddha's teachings are true. But then children, now only Venerable Moggallana saw this. Now together with Venerable Moggallana, Arahant Moggallana, there was Arahant Lakkana coming down, walking down with Venerable Moggallana Arahant. Then, but Venerable Lakkana did not see this incident, this python who has been burnt. Then Venerable Lakkana asked from Moggallana, Venerable Sir, why did you smile? What's the reason? Then Venerable Moggallana Arahant said, this is not a suitable time to talk about this. Let's go on arms round and we will meet the Buddha, and in front of the Buddha we'll discuss this matter. We will ask the Buddha. Then what happened? Arahant Moggallana and Arahant Lakkana went to the Blessed One said this story. Then the Blessed One said, Dear bhikkhus, I saw this Peta python near the Neranjara river when I was seated under the Bodhi tree. I did not tell anyone because they might not believe it. People might suspect it and accumulate bad karma than that they have earlier. So I didn't want to tell this earlier itself. Then Buddha said, Dear bhikkhus, this Peta, this python, in a previous life, during the Kashyapa Buddha's time, there was a merchant called Sumangala. What's the merchant's name? Sumangala. What happened? He made a beautiful vihara for the Buddha and for the Mahasangha. And he used to attend to the Buddha every day. Every day he used to go to the Buddha's monastery. So one day when this merchant was going to see the Buddha, he saw a man sleeping on the roadside, covered the whole body from a cloth and sleeping till late morning. Then this merchant said, "Oh, for sure this man would have roamed in the night and done some bad deeds and now sleeping daytime." This man who was lying down on the floor, on the ground, he heard this. But the merchant thought that he is sleeping. The merchant just said these words. Then this man heard what this merchant said, and he got angry with the merchant. Slowly, this man removed the cloth and wanted to see who was this person who scolded me. Who was this person scolded me? Then he saw, oh, this is the merchant. Oh, this merchant scolded me. And then what happened? He got angry and he wanted to take revenge. Now see, unwise. If he was able to understand that he has slept till late morning, if that was bad, he should understand that and wake up early morning and give up doing bad deeds. Rather than changing himself, rather than taking the advice, what happened to him? He wanted to take revenge from the merchant. And then what happened? He went to the merchant's crops where he used to do all his cultivation, and then he put fire to the crops. Now see how people take revenge. Then he wanted to hurt the merchant. Now to hurt the merchant, he is destroying the crops. Now he has forgotten that from these crops there are a lot of people who are depending. People are working in crops and people are fed from these crops. It's food that people consume from this harvesting, from this cultivation. But why that man was unable to understand the danger of these things? Why? He was unwise. He was unwise. So that's why, children, we should not become unwise, we should become wise, superior. But then the merchant doesn't care. Even his crops were destroyed by this person. Even the merchant did not know that who has done this. Then what happened? Since the merchant was not unhappy, he went and cut the legs of the cows. All the cows, the legs of cows were cut. And then what happened? 7 times this man put fire to the merchant's house, to the merchant's mansion. Then slowly he asked one of the workers, "How is the merchant now? Is he still angry? Is he happy?" Then one of the workers said, "He is happy because he has the Buddha. He has the refuge of the Buddha." Then what happened? He thought, okay, if he's happy with the Buddha, I should damage something that belongs to the Buddha. And he went and burned the Buddha's kuti. After burning the kuti, this merchant went and saw the kuti and he thought, amazing, I have another chance. Again, I got a chance to make another kuti to the Buddha. Children, can we think like this? That's the difference between faithful people and unfaithful people. Wise people and unwise people. Then he made another kuti. Finally, this man thought stabbing this person, and he came to that place on the opening ceremony of the new kuti to the Buddha, a fragrant kuti to the Buddha. Then at the opening ceremony of the kuti, at the merit sharing, this merchant said, all the merits I accumulated, may all this merit be shared with that person who burned this kuti, who burnt my houses, who cut the legs of the animals, who used to plow my crops, who damaged my workers. May that person be well and happy by the power of this merit. May he have long life. Children, when after the merchant shared the merit, that evil person came to this person and bent and bowed down at him and worshipped him and apologized. And he said, I will become a slave in your mansion together with my family. But then this merchant said, no need, no need. The merchant asked on the last day, why did you kill my things? Why did you kill the cows? Why did you damage the houses? Why did you damage the Buddha's house? Then that person said, one day when I was sleeping on the roadside, you said, oh, this thief, he would have done bad things in the night. Now he's sleeping late morning. So only for this I got angry. So finally the merchant apologized from that thief, from that man, saying that sorry for the word that I said on the day that you were sleeping on the roadside. Then what happened, children? He lived for some time and he died. What happened? He was born in hell. Children, that man, after he died, he was born in hell, and for the residue, for the remaining karma, he was born as a Paṭicca, a ghost, python, and then suffered a lot by fire. So now see the danger, children, of doing bad deeds and the danger of taking revenge. Now in this life we might not do these kind of bad karma, but remember, we might have a danger. We will have a danger in a future world, in a future birth, to become evil like this person. Now see the danger of these things, children. So may you have the opportunity to understand the value of learning the Chula Kamma Vibhanga Sutta, the nature of karma, how karma give results, and realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya.
Paritta chanting. Paṭicca Samuppāda. Arising and cessation of causality. Now we're going to recite a very special teaching from the Supreme Buddha. It's the exact knowledge that he gained on the night of his enlightenment that allowed him to understand how this cycle of samsara worked. And most importantly, this knowledge allowed him to put an end to the cycle of birth and death. It also allowed him to share this special knowledge with others so they could too escape from samsara and attain nibbana. Then at the end, there are 2 verses that he recited on that same night. Now turn to page 153. We'll chant together in Pali and English.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Avijja paccaya sankhara, sankhara paccaya viññānaṁ, viññāna paccaya nama rūpaṁ, nama rūpa paccaya salayatanaṁ, salayatana paccaya bhasso, bhassa paccaya vedana, vedana paccaya tanha, tanha paccaya upadānaṁ, upadāna paccaya bhavo, bhava paccaya jati, jati paccaya jara maranaṁ, soka parideva, dukkha domana supayasa, sambhavanti. Eva me tassa kevalassa dukkha khandassa samudayo hoti. Dependent on ignorance arises formations. Dependent on formations arises consciousness. Dependent on consciousness arises mentality, materiality. Dependent on mentality, materiality, arise the six sense bases. Dependent on the six sense bases, arises contact. Dependent on contact, arises feeling. Dependent on feeling, arises craving. Dependent on craving, arises clinging. Dependent on clinging, arises the arranging of karma. Dependent on the arranging of karma, arises birth. Dependent on birth, arises aging. Death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. Thus there is the rising of this whole mass of suffering. Avijjayatveva asesa viraga nirodha sankhara nirodho sankhara nirodha viññāna nirodho viññāna nirodha nama rupa nirodho nama rupa nirodha salayatana nirodho salayatana nirodha bhassa nirodho bhassa nirodha vedana nirodho vedana nirodha tanha nirodho tanha nirodha upadana nirodho upadana nirodha bhava nirodho bhava nirodha jati nirodho jati nirodha jara maranang soka parideva dukkha domanasupayasa nirujhanti evametassa kevalassa dukkha khandhassa nirodho hoti. Through the entire cessation of ignorance, formation cease. Through the cessation of formations, consciousness ceases. Through the cessation of consciousness, mentality, materiality ceases. Through the cessation of mentality, materiality, the six sense bases cease. Through the cessation of the six sense bases, contact ceases. Through the cessation of contact, feeling ceases. Through the cessation of feeling, craving ceases. Through the cessation of craving, clinging ceases. Through the cessation of clinging, the arranging of karma ceases. Through the cessation of the arranging of karma, birth ceases. Through the cessation of birth, aging, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair ceases. Thus there is the cessation of this whole mass of suffering. Aneka jati sansarang sandha vissang anibisang grahakarakang gave santo dukkha jati punah punang. Through many a birth, I wandered in sansara, seeking but not finding the builder of this house called suffering. Suffering indeed is to be born again and again. Grahakaraka dittosi punage hannaka hasi sabbate pasukha bhagga grahakutang visankitang visankhara gatang cittang tanhanang khaya majjagati. O house builder, you are now seen. You can build no house again. Broke all the rafters. I smashed the ridge pole of the house. My mind has attained the unconditioned. Achieved is the end of craving. Etena saccena suvatti hotu. By this truth may there be well-being. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
I'm so happy we were able to spend time together today. We hope that you learned something new, and we really hope that you can use what you learned as you go about the rest of your day. Could you draw a picture of the story that we learned today? The story of the merchant Sumangala and how this thief tried to hurt him by burning down his crops and by killing his cows and burning down his house and even burning down the Supreme Buddha's kuti. It's a really amazing story, especially when we think about the way that Sumangala forgave him. Unbelievable. So why don't you draw a picture of that and send it to us, or use it to show your friends and your parents to help teach them the story. Now let's share merits. May all of our teachers, our relatives, our friends rejoice in all the merit that we've done here today. Through the power of this merit, may they soon experience for themselves the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sad, sad, sad. Namo Buddhaya.